We now look down the home straight here in downtown LA. A fantastic afternoon to go racing. It's nothing but quick stuff that we've got here. The marshals getting out of the way. No, okay, let's just hold hard a minute. Pastrana, he's welcome of that shadow on the far side. Joseph Burke with his Mitsubishi. Jimmy Keeney with his Subaru is next up. And then Nate Conley with his Subaru is on the left-hand side. Look at those eyes. They could only be Travis Pastrana's.
Absolutely, completely focused. And guys, yesterday we saw something akin to light traffic on a Saturday afternoon. Today we are going to see proper LA traffic. This is going to be the 405 at 5:30 on a Friday afternoon, if you've ever experienced that. 2 words to sum it up: parking lot. And speaking of parking, what we see Travis hanging on to right here is what we call the parking brake, or the e-brake. In this case, he's holding it there. He's got the launch control set. The car is being held only by the emergency brake. As soon as the light goes green, he lets go of that, and the car launches hard right out of the hole.
Pastrana, Burke, Keeney, Conley, they're going to be holding it on the handbrake. They're going to be holding it, and they're going to be unleashing unsilenced rally car explosive action. Brilliant start from Conley. And Travis has got a lot of work to do with the Subaru. Leading is Joseph Burke with the Mitsubishi. That's an upset already at turn 1. Absolutely.
Burke is the second youngest guy in this field. Only Dylan is younger than Burke, but Burke is a bright guy. He's a student at Auburn University, and you know he's been learning his lessons here as they go, as he's getting a nice shove from Travis, and Travis in turn getting a nice push from Jimmy Keeney.
Burke's got a problem. Pastrana was bumping and boring like it was coming out of turn 4 at the Brickyard, but he's rallycrossing here in downtown LA. Loses a little bit of time, but the Subaru behind him has got nowhere to go. Jimmy Keeney is just following Pastrana, and he's doing a sterling job. The pair of them doing a sterling job. Why? Pastrana driving with just his left foot over the brake and hand controls behind the wheel for the gas.
And poor Joseph Burke, you can just imagine in his head there, he probably heard a PA system, beep, Travis Pastrana to the front, please, Travis Pastrana to the front, and he came right on past him. But Jimmy Keeney doing a stellar job of staying everywhere in sight of Travis Pastrana. Travis, again, as you mentioned, Toby, look, you can see his hands there on the throttle. It's hard to say the hands are on the throttle, but guys, as he's squeezing those levers behind the steering wheel, that's the gas. So imagine he's working the wheel and working the throttle with his hands. Really unbelievable work from Travis.
This is the first of our 3 second round races. It's a 5-lapper for this Rallycross X Games discipline. Pastrana lost out in the first round, but here he is in the second round. If he wins this, then he will go to the final and the gold match.
And just because Jimmy Keeney is no longer in his rearview mirror, Travis cannot relax. Jimmy made the strategic move to take the jump, the jump, and so now Travis has to really build that gap, because if Jimmy puts in a couple of really quick laps and Travis backs off of it a little bit, he could come into the merge and find himself very surprised with Jimmy Keeney right on his inside.
He's doing a fantastic job. I'm not just saying that, he really is. I've seen him drive cars that he's literally never seen, and he flies. I've commentated on him at the Race of Champions, where they put Formula 1 drivers, NASCAR drivers, rally car drivers, saloon car, stock car, world touring car drivers, and bike riders, MotoGP guys, all in the same pit, and he flew. It was a joy and a pleasure to commentate on it.
And that Race of Champions is really geared towards Travis, who is fast in anything he gets into. But one thing I want to point out to you guys following at home, you see by the names there, you see a little joker. That joker is red, blue, and white. That means that participant has yet to take the jumper. You're going to see now, Travis is taking the joker lap. He's about to do the jump. Watch the joker right next to his name. It should go gray as soon as he lands it. There it is. He's now completed it, and we've got 2 participants, Conley and Burke, who have yet to take the joker lap.
And he's not using the clutch on the way up, he's just banging it through the gears. The Subaru guys, they've had a rock-solid gearbox. You really can't break it. And what a relief. He's not going to have to go through to the last chance where only the winner will go through. And he's going to get some precious rest, if I could say that, after this race, Emil, before the all-important final.
Yeah, but Toby, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We have some racing left to do here, and we know anything can happen. We've seen it happen in all forms of discipline. I remember one race, Nigel Mansell years ago in Formula 1 waving to the crowd on the last lap, and the car died. So
Montreal.
It's not over until we see the checkered flag wave, and you're going to see a strong fist bump, I suspect, from Travis. and he's going to rest that right leg.
He knows that he's ahead. That looked like, was that Conley who spun? But Pastrana's got no problems at all. He is 6.5 seconds. Oh, that's a big off. And he's broken the radiator and the intercooler. Travis Pastrana is in the RallyCross final. Well done, Travis Pastrana. What a result for the Subaru Rally Team USA. He is in the final. That's, again, like we saw with Doran winning the rally car gold yesterday, Emil. That for me is an upset. I am amazed.
Well, when you think of what he's doing, the fact he just learned how to drive the car with those hand controls, it truly is amazing. You saw the relief on his face as he crossed the line, but I have to say, what a shame for Nate Conley. His wife Brandy's here is watching. They brought their toddler son Riders in the stands as well, and that crash, that's a family-run deal there. That's not going to be a very fun afternoon for him. But yeah, Travis, he must be pretty good at his PSP, at his PlayStation game, because he picked up those hand controls amazingly quickly. Again, guys, think about this. Intuitively, he's going against everything he knows. His instincts are telling him to squeeze his right foot to apply the throttle. He's got a cast on that leg. He can't. He's probably still twitching in that cast, which has got to be excruciatingly painful. Just unbelievable. I can't say enough about the effort he's putting in.
Jen Horsey is down there in the rally car pits. Jen, have you got Travis? Go for it.
Travis Pastrana, you had to fight your way from behind on that in that heat. How hard is it to find somewhere to pass on this course?
No, it's great. The course is actually a lot of fun. No, I mean, I'm a little disappointed with how I'm able to run, but man, it was good. We just how the heat stacked up. It was pretty good for me. We definitely gonna have to get out of the whole shot a little bit better in the final. Got to figure out how to drive a little bit better, but man, I can't tell you how much I appreciate this team. Subaru, everybody for standing behind me when, you know, even after we got hurt, and they're like, well, how can we make it work? And man, thank you guys for supporting me. I can't tell you how embarrassed I am to, you know, to falter that bad on the best trick, but I'm just happy to be in a car, and I really appreciate everyone that's making this happen for me.
You get to sit out the LCQ and watch from your trailer. Does that give you a little bit of time to rest that ankle?
Yeah, it's going to hurt either way, but honestly, you know, I signed up. You know, we know what we got, and I'm as safe as I can be in the car. I'm not going to pass out, so let's go race. Thanks.
I love races. I love races. Metronomes may win championships, but I love hard races. And Pastrana is nothing but that. Here's your start.
And then we see Travis gets a little slow to get away. Joseph Burke probably surprised himself more than anyone else by jumping out front. And we see that he overslowed the car a little bit. Travis is going to save that arrow, that bad start. He's going to get Burke. As Burke clouds the wall, Travis takes full opportunity and goes right past him. Big hit by Joseph Burke right there. It's a real shame as well. Travis is going to capitalize that. He bumps him, giving him a little bit shove. Hey, I'm right here, mate. Get out of the way if you're not going to get on the gas. And he's going to pass him here on the straight. And here we see Travis on the hand controls. Watch, guys, as he squeezes the throttles. He's up against Burke, and there he goes on the inside. You see the horsepower difference. And there goes Travis just pulling away and on to a victory.
It's works horsepower, isn't it, Emil, against Privateer? I mean, what a start. What a start from Burke. He should be very proud of that. So then, Pastrana has advanced to the gold match final here at X Games 17 with our RallyCross. More in a moment. X Games 17 really is the focus of the world sporting action here this afternoon. Now then, next up we've got Dave Meara, we've got Robbie Madison, and we've got Michael Jernberg. We've got a Subaru, a Hyundai, and a Skoda. This is going to be a very tight race. We're on. Oh, Jernberg Skoda flies into the distance. Robbie Madison in second position, Dave Meara in third position at the moment as we ride on board with the Flying Swede. Oh, look, here comes Madison, Emil.
Oh, and a terrible start for Mir as well. He's got ground to make up. But Madison, as I told you, the surprise of the weekend for me. Michael Jernberg, a true rallycross competitor, knows these cars well. He's driving a very, very nimble Skoda. But Robbie Madison is letting him know, I'm here to race today. And here comes Mir trying to make up ground.
Is somebody going to go for the Joker? Who's going to go for the Joker? Meara is going to go for the jump, and Madison is pushing. Oh, he's rubbing. Oh, Meara goes wide. He loses a precious half a second as he takes the jump. Oh, there's a big off. Oh, and Jernberg has hit the wall. He's got no steering. He's got no steering. He's going to limp it to the finish. Where's Madison? Madison must be in the wall when they came. Madison is only just moving. I can see him from our commentary position out of the window, and Jörnberg's out.
And talk about a great move from Mira. The fact that he took the jump enabled him to get past all that carnage, and now he's ahead. So brilliant, brilliant move by Dave Mira. Well done.
Mira leads by definition because he kept out of the carnage. There's a wreck down there. And Madison is limping through. And we're going to get Mira. There's Jörnberg on the left-hand side, on board, out of the car.
But now Mira's going to come up to a stoppage here. Oh, unless, yes, he was able to
get
the car out of the way. Madison got the car out of the way. Now listen, Mira, this is proof, guys. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Not to discount David Mira, but listen, you saw him start to make a couple mistakes. He was a little rattled. The fact he got a bad start, and he just was able to save it by just luckily taking the Joker when he did.
But what the Subaru Rally Team USA need to do to him now, they've got radio contact with Mira in the car. They've got spotters like NASCAR looking from the tops of the buildings and with our television pictures that you at home and all around the world are watching. And that means that Mira, he can cool it as long as they tell him. Now then, Jen Horsey, give us an update about Jörnberg.
Jörnberg's really been struggling with the steering in his car. In fact, the crew just replaced the steering rack, and I wonder if they didn't quite get it sorted out.
Oh, well, I hear what you say, but he managed to do 2/3 of a lap, didn't he? There was contact between him and Madison when they came under the jump, Emil.
Yeah, there was, and that's pretty much what took him out. But Mira, you had a good point, Toby. The crew are on the radio right now to Mira saying, hey, cool the jets, slow it down, bring it home. And Dave's one of those guys that, you know, we think about what he's done on a BMX bike, and he's hearted his way. He's willed his way to wins. And in driving, really, it's a balance between the heart and the head and the brain. As we see the red flag out right now, a stoppage. I think Mira's going to get the flag here. But Dave's been a guy that's been he's found a struggle to sort of let his head outweigh his heart. And
that now means, although it's a red flag, I was just about to say before the red flag came out, the rules are, by definition, the furthest car in a rallycross race, the furthest advanced car in distance from the start line, goes through. Mira had advanced anyway, even if he stopped, because he had travelled the furthest distance ahead of Jörnberg and Madison. Mira goes through to the final. Wow, what a final we're going to have.
Here we go, we see the start. Dave Mira does not get a good start. Jörnberg does, as we've seen from him most of the weekend. And Robbie Madison right up behind him. We're going to see these guys come together here shortly. Here we are. They both go for the gap, and they're coming out of the corner. Let's see if Robbie, oh, he does. He slides into him, forces Jörnberg to rotate the car into the barrier. And, oh, Jörnberg overcooked it to begin with on his own. Madison right into the barrier, and Jörnberg, we see a tie rod is broken there. That's the suspension piece which turns the wheel back and forth. And as soon as that's broken, kids, you've got no steering, and you are like a ship without a rudder. Game over.
Yes,
Michael Jörnberg.
Yeah, sailing to Hawaii, aren't you? Via Australia.
Yeah, sailing in circles.
Dave Mira in the final with Tanner Faust, with Brian Deegan, with Liam Doran, with Marcus Gronholm and Travis Pastrana. Is there any more room for any more talent in the final? Mobile One presents this extended performance. This is Tanner Faust. He advanced by winning the very first round that we had here this afternoon. This is Brian Deegan. He's in the final with the sister Ford Fiesta to that of Tanner Faust. And here is Liam Doran with the Citroen. He was victorious yesterday. Here is Marcus Gronholm. He is in the final with his Ford Fiesta. Travis Pastrana with his Subaru. He's also got through at the last gasp. And Dave Mira brilliantly keeping it cool with his Subaru. He is in the final. Next up, we've got the last of our second rounds. It's going to be more explosive action here, downtown LA. Now let's see who's advanced so far. Tanner Faust, Brian Deegan, Liam Doran, Marcus Gronholm, Travis Pastrana. What a heroic drive. And Dave Mira likewise flying through. And Mira, the last person to go through to the final, is down there in our rallycross pits with Jen Horsey.
Dave Mira, you just won a heat that looked more like a game of bumper cars out there. What was your strategy for taking the Joker when you did?
Well, you know what? To be honest, I kind of thought about it. If people go one way, I'm going to go the other. I want to stay away from everything. And I know Robbie. I've seen him several times in practice hitting walls, and I was behind those guys. I kind of jumped my start a little bit, so I backed off. Kind of missed it. Okay, I wasn't real worried about it. So I get down there. I just want to stay clean. I saw those guys fighting pretty hard, and I know Ehrenberg is very quick. I know that Madison has a quick car, but I don't know if he's gone that quick consistently. So I saw him coming in here really kind of loose and all over Ehrenberg. I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and just get away from this. And I obviously messed up my whole corner. I didn't take it at record speed by any means. And I just got away, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to have to make some time up here. I definitely blew the Joker lap. And then all of a sudden here on the radio, I saw Ehrenberg smashed up. And I went around, and they just kept going. But yeah, I think I made the right choice here this time. No reason to be around that.
Definitely a good call. There's so much action out there. Do you know already what your strategy is going to be for the final?
No, I really don't, because I'm going to ad-lib. If I see something, I know like in yesterday's race, I had an opportunity I didn't take. I'm going to make sure I just watch for everything. I have a few things in mind, and it's kind of tough. I really, in one way, I think taking the Joker first is probably the way to go, and I'm going to hopefully commit to that wherever I am, commit to that, get around it, because that's what I've learned is that you're doing so many fast laps, and going into that regular lap, you start to get it pretty dialed, going quick into it, but the problem at the end, I feel like you're going too quick into the Joker lap. So I've gone wide twice, and I kind of know that you're used to going fast, so to slow down, I really want to go in there pretty conservative, get that out of the way, and then just start banging laps out of that fast.
Conservative strategy then from Dave Merritt for the final. Toby, back to you.
Thanks, Jen. Well done, Dave. 24 medals he's won here at the X Games, 16 of them gold. And that is a very poorly looking Czech Republic Skoda that's going to be returning to Sweden. Michael Jernberg, you can see him on the left-hand side there, the bespectacled, of course he's Scandinavian, he's a Swede, he's blonde, saying to his mechanics how it all unraveled.
Yep, and now we know that Mir is going to move ahead into the final where he's going to face off with Deegan, and it's not going to be the last time these guys face off. I just want to point out one fun thing those two are doing. Those guys are going to actually duke it out in a boxing match for charity. It's September 17th in Vegas, and it's a real boxing match. 3 rounds, 3 minutes each, and Mir is taking it very seriously. He's preparing for it. He's got a trainer in LA. He's not going in there to trade blows just for fun. He wants to knock out Deegan, he told me, and it's going to be pretty interesting. We'll see how they duke it out here in the final when that comes up.
That was one of the more interesting pieces of information that we gleaned whilst we were walking around that pit down there, wasn't it, Emil?
Yeah, it was. I can't wait to see those guys put the gloves on, the headgear, and fight.
Now this is a view into Tanner Faust's area down there in the pits. There is the Deegan car in the middle of the 3 Ford Racing Fiestas that are here in LA.
Been a while since we talked about Tanner. He's probably over there reading a book, drinking a little pina colada. Non-alcoholic, of course, no adult beverages until this is all over. But he won his heat initially, and so he moved right to the final.
There you see the radiator in the rear of that Ford Fiesta. They have different rules here in Rallycross racing compared with World Rally Championship. They can really hack things about. I know that the Subarus, the inside the cabin, the body shell is completely different. They've got a straight through exhaust, of course, these cars. The noise, if you are standing next to them when they leave the start line with the anti-lag as they build up the turbo pressure, it spools up, it's spinning faster than the speed of sound, the outside blade of a turbocharger, faster than the speed of sound, which is what, 680 miles an hour? And it pops and it bangs, and it really is quite a violent experience down there. Tonight, though, coverage of Major League Baseball continues on ESPN with Sunday Night Baseball at 8 Eastern, the Cubs facing the Cardinals. And then on Monday Night Baseball, the Indians taking on the Boston Red Sox at 7 Eastern. That's Major League Baseball on ESPN Sunday and Monday night here on ESPN.
Now tell me something. I know you guys are used to cricket over there, another stick and ball sport, a little different than baseball, isn't it?
I think I've made honorary American citizenship by throwing to the brickyard and throwing to the baseball. Now we're going to go racing. I've been following Rallycross since a young age. RallyCross actually started in 1967, and this genuinely, Emil, is the biggest thing that's happened to RallyCross. Sure, we've been at the Coliseum in recent years, sure, we've been at other areas in the USA, but downtown LA to see Higgins versus Millen versus Van Way versus Ken Block's monster fiesta is really quite something. Here we go, David Higgins, 2011 US Rally Champion, underneath the shade, gets a good start, but Ken Block's Fiesta is flying immediately as they go up to turn one, into the right-hander. Subaru ahead of Ford Fiesta. David loses a little bit of time in the blue and white Subaru, and Block can sense his chance. He can sniff the lead.
That is the up and under. Ken Block executed it almost perfectly. Higgins, of course, knew what was coming, and he blocked it. That was absolutely well done. As we see Millen coming up, making his way forward. He's in third right now, and he's trying to make sure that those guys do not get away from him. Of course, trailing in the back is Dylan Van Way, the youngest competitor here. He's a first-year student at university. Go ahead and...
Block has taken the jump, Emil. He's decided immediately to have a little bit of a gap there as David Higgins, the Washington Hill Climb current record holder, he set it only a month ago, is flying. He's in the lead. He has yet to take the jump. He's got to keep a cool head.
And a good move by Block as he feels he's faster than David Higgins. He's running directly behind him. It's difficult to pass here on the street circuit, so he thought, let me take the Joker, get out of the way. Again, it's a longer lap than if you go and take the gap. And so now he's got that out of the way. He can run in open traffic, no one in front of him, and he will make a difference here and should cut the difference to Higgins pretty quick.
David Higgins, a family of rally racers and drivers. His brother Mark is a multiple British rally champion and a stunt driver as well. He was in the Bond film, The Quantum of Solace, as a stunt driver. A fantastic experience. They run a rally school in Wales, back in the UK, but now David Higgins has got to keep it silky smooth, because with this amount of power, Emil, it's easy to slide. It's great for us watching on TV, but it's not quick.
Absolutely right. You don't want to slide too much. You want to just slide just enough to rotate the car, as David Higgins does right there, and not overdo it. One interesting bit about that Bond film, Reese Millen was supposed to be the stunt driver there and injured himself trying to do a backflip in New Year's, and that of course opened the door for Mark Higgins to go do the stunt driving there.
Thrashing Aston Martins. It's tough being a rally driver, isn't it? Okay then, Millen now leads, but he has yet to take the Joker lap as he jumps over. Higgins has taken to that graphic, is going to unstagger. So Millen in the lead with the Hyundai Veloster, the car that is yet to hit the public roads. It's flying.
So Reese's job now, obviously, put the hammer down, get as far ahead of the guys as you can, because of course he's now going to take the Joker, and that's 5, 6, 7 seconds slower of a lap. So you're going to see the guys all come together here.
The stagger is going to unravel when we see Millen jump over the jump, handbrake it into the left-hand side, and the stagger will unravel. There is that Higgins as I peer through the dust. It may well be David Higgins leading on the fly cam as we look down. Reese Millen, the man who drove the General Lee around that island in the Dukes of Hazzard.
But of course, second place here is the first loser. He's now going to have to go to the LCQ, the last chance qualifier. So you see Higgins' hood start to come apart a little bit here.
And he doesn't want to go too quickly, because if there's too much air getting underneath that hood, of course, it might ping the clip on the right-hand side. The hood may come over the windscreen, and he will be unsighted, and he'll have nowhere to see. He's not over yet.
And rest assured, Reese Millen, being the racer he is, also comes from a long line of racers. He's seen that happen, and he is on full attack mode. Put the pressure on Higgins, make him push, hope he forces him into a mistake.
And David Higgins will be keeping his fingers crossed for those rivets to hold on the right-hand side of that hood. He's just got 2 more corners to go. David Higgins is going to go through to the final. The bronze medal winner from yesterday. Goodness me, he wins, but only just able to even see as he loosens the belt in the Subaru. Reese Millen finishes in 2nd place. Dylan Van Way gets 3rd. Ken Block, 4th position. He got lapped. We didn't see what happened to him. Ken Block has had a pretty grotty weekend. They blew 2 turbos yesterday afternoon with the monster Ford Fiesta. They rang up the local turbo builder for Garrett, who make the turbos, who was at home. He had to get a babysitter in to rebuild the turbos yesterday afternoon for Ken Block.
Not the best weekend, but David Higgins' weekend has significantly improved here. As we see him get the whole shot, Ken Block is there, and here we see Ken trying to do the up and under move on Higgins. He's going to stay and cut to the inside. You see him cut to the inside there, try to put the power down coming out of the corner. It's just not enough, and Higgins walks away from it. Here we see Block go to the Joker. That was the right thing to do. He took it early. Good strategy. Millen staying on Higgins' bumper, though. Ken Block approaches the jump, clears it nicely, and at the finish, it was David Higgins.
We didn't quite see why the hood was loose, and if that was a bit of a weakness with the metal or the clip or whatever, that's a worry, but at least he got into the final. Next up, we've got the last chance for the last spot in the gold match.